At Ubai Kamlalo, Blair Cottrell, at Blair Cottrell on Twitter writes, why invade a country when you can just buy its institutions, turn its women against its men, make transvestites of its children, sell the wealth generated by its labor to foreign investors, then introduce a foreign army known as refugees and diversity to finish it off. This applies to so many countries around the world. Buy its institutions. I once read a meme that said, ignorance is $1 billion industry. And I realized when I was reading it that a lot of people didn't know what that means. And how I interpreted it, at least, is there are very wealthy people, there are very successful people, there are politicians who invest a lot of time and money in ensuring that people don't know. Because the reality is that knowledge is power. So once you buy up institutions, schools, churches, sports facilities, you can then dictate what gets taught there, what happens there. That means your kids now are not playing the sports that will give them healthy bodies. Your kids are not learning the things that will truly empower them. And you keep them ignorant. And you're like, as long as they're ignorant, they can't compete with me for my wealth and my power. Turn women against men. A very big one, especially in the Black community. And it's crazy that we fight so much. At times, I bump into old Black American movies. Your Morris Chestnut, Gabriel Union. There's newer ones now, of course. I mean, you've got Baby Boy, Taraji Henson. You've got Not Easily Broken. I think that's Morris Chestnut, Taraji Henson, something at a bow. The Bow That Breaks, I think is Morris Chestnut and I forget the lady playing the lead. Deliver Us from Eva, Gabriel Union. And then obviously Tyler Perry movies. These movies would have us talking a lot, engaging on relationships and love and sex and children and baby mamas. But you look at how a lot of those movies actually were conditioning our modern behavior. Like stupid things like a girl wanting to pour a glass of champagne on your face. Like, it's TV. The R&Bs of this world, or Brandy, or Monica, or Toni Braxton, your Brian McKnights, your Joe Thomas. These guys were like writing a script for our lives, and we ended up acting these things. But in that, we ended up fighting a lot. We ended up engaging in like unplanned families and reckless sex a lot. And when you look at a lot of these guys, they're also not like happily married. Shut about divorce. Kono baby mama or baby daddy. And we repeat what we see on TV and in the movies. And when you look at some of the nations that are thriving, and then you look at the quality of the movies and the films and the TV shows and the music they listen to, it's like the opposite. It's about happy families. It's about building things together. And it's been a couple of times where I've heard on platforms the danger of the storylines that make it onto DSTV platforms, SABC, where there's always like a criminal family and there's always cheating and love triangles. Angazi science parish or the bold and the beautiful. But it can't be outside of Mhlampe Ifalakamteto and the beginning of Generations and the Moroka family. It can't be that there's just like a Black family that's actually building an empire. And the struggles that they're dealing with are external and not internal. Abo Empire with Terrence Howard and Taraji, Power, I think, Lumchito Dlalu Ghost. There's fights, there's cheating, there's broken families. Instead of just focusing on like external factors. Turn transvestites into our kids. That one I'm not going to touch on because it's deemed controversial these days to speak about some of the sexual education, gender education that our children are getting. But I'll say two things. One, I've always had an issue with makeup and I've always appreciated natural girls. And, women would be like, you're lying. You're attracted to the slay queens. Yeah. Look, and they've got their hair snatched on fleek and they smell good and their makeup is immaculate. Of course, it's visually appealing because it's art, right? Art is visually appealing. But it's not natural. And because it's not natural, it means you're buying into like a fugazi. That's why sometimes if it's not promise ama joke uthi say uvuke ekuseni mfethu negorilla, you left with a belting hun. Maxa kuvuka ekuseni intwana sekukhunyulwa ama wigs sekudlala nama stockings nama face beater wasek we are realize ekuse baba ngiphethe igorilla la.